So, we wanted to, what we wanted is to store these flood waters efficiently, and with that, exacerbation of floods will be avoided, and then attenuation of flood waters will be happened before it reaches the town. So we have proposed a chain of reservoirs before and the upstream of the town itself. So down the grid, the overflow of one reservoir will be taken down the hydrological gradient line to another reservoir around the town, not in the town, so that the flood waters will not enter the city, the town itself. And then these link of reservoirs will again, join the river back, which is downstream of the town. So this will evade the excess floods. And these stored reservoirs they have many benefits, like they store water for surface water supply, and they recharge the groundwater through surface and subsurface dikes, and they attenuate the floods, and they can be used for suburban irrigation and urban irrigation, domestic and portable water supply. So this is one of the schemes proposed. And check dams have been proposed in the urban river system itself, upstream and one and downstream one, so that there is a lot of transportation problem. There are only two bridges connecting the new town and the old town of the Kurnool. So lot of traffic congestion, bottlenecks at the bridges are observed. So if we have check dams, it will be have benefits like they can the river will be seem like a perennial river, and it can recharge the groundwater down the in the downstream of the town. So this is a map, Old City map, and so these are the flood walls proposed. This is one check dam and one check dam here. This is a 2 kilometer of stretch of the town. So in this, boating facility can be provided with boating one deck, one near the bridge, near one bridge. So this will promote alternative transport, alternative food like fishing can be seen. And also along the banks, these banks have two flood walls, one here and one here, like 5 meters, one which was proposed by the APWRDC, and 3 meters another near the settlement, so that this will become as a platform, and the water from the town will be connected through drains, overflow drains from one water square to another water square. Then this is a storm water canal which runs along the periphery of the town, and this stormwater canal will collect water from the urban region, so that urban local floods will not interfere with the riverine floods, and it will not exacerbate the riverine floods already which is in spate due to upstream overflows. Now thus this stormwater canal will connect it, and the areas beside this stormwater canal will be used as promenades and public walks. The sections I will show in the next slides. So these structures, which huge investments will be done, these structures for storing and channelizing flood waters during the drought times, this will be used for recreational facilities. Last only 10 slides are there. So these are benefits of okay sir. So water navigation will be alternative transport, recharges the groundwater, alternative food like fishing, etc. That will reduce the irrigation needs. And this revenue generation also is a high cost benefit curve. And riverfront development will be seen along the promenades and the stormwater canal proposed. And the proposed government scheme does not, they are not imperative towards the climate change. Important to climate change. So along the flood walls, this is a section of the river. So this is one flood wall 5 meter high, and this is another flood wall 3 meter high. So total the level of the river would be around 8 meters. So the carrying capacity will be quadrupled by this. And this is the stormwater canal along the periphery of the town, and these are the promenades used for jogging, etc. During the drought times, this will be the banks of Hundred River is around 50 to 150 meters along the stretch of the town. So this is the settlement. So this can be used during the drought conditions also for revenue generations, for socio-cultural and socio-economic activities. So these floodplains will be increased and carrying capacity of the rivers will increase. So basically these flood structures will be used during the drought for the revenue generation and socio-cultural and socio-economic activities and aesthetic development of the town. And this is a step promoted. The facility of this is like when the flood happens, so this will be slowly filled up, not at once, so that we will have an idea of how much it is flooding, so that we can take precautionary measures and vacate the flood banks before the flood enter the town, enter the promenades. So this is one of the conceptual view of this boating deck and the stormwater canal going. This is a recreational and storage hub where water will be collected from the stormwaters here, attenuated here, and after the flood recedes the river, then this will be let it into the river. So this will be called as a retention ponds or retention ponds, where the water will be stored for some time. After the floods, after the flood, they will be left into the river again, or else used for domestic and municipal or urban irrigation supplies. This general view of the promenade along the water canal. These are storage facilities, and water plazas can be created when we attenuate urban local floods which will not enter the river itself. So these can be used for recreation facilities like waterfalls and water plazas and squares. So these are the design interventions at town scale. Few of them which I have shown, like apart from this there are many interventions which will be shown in later papers. So this will increase the capacity, this will increase the resilience, and also it will pave for sustainable development by recharging groundwater, attenuating floods, etc. Thank you very much.
It is nice work. I would like to make a quick comment on this. Chairman is actually reacting to the time. All these measures, first of all, it is very nice work that you are a very serious part to the control floods. But at the same time, because of this flood frequency, it is not known. What was the return period? Did you find any return period frequency of this flood? So
100 year return.
100 years.
100 years.
Now, if you create such a kind of network, lots of drainage patterns, lots of reservoirs, and then check them, and then you receive this flood after 100 years. So, for 100 years, this entire infrastructure that you are going to create is actually futile. It becomes idle. It is of no use. So, there is actually the problem.
But then the loss which was there.
All these engineering measures, whenever you propose, you should put your engineering point that subject to these conditions. Although your purpose, it was a quick comment that I wanted to make. Because of these kind of measures cannot be adopted considering that frequency of that is once in 100 years. Right?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Estimated cost? Estimated cost?
Cost estimations we are still doing it, sir, because this was running paper, so we could not complete it. Like it was not so technical and not so quantitative one. Yes.
However, you have shown that some tanks based upon the Google map. I think instead that if you have used the survey of India topoship, I think they will more benefit. Survey of India topoship you use and suggest the point because they like
We have
drainage pattern of that area.
We have got it, sir, but this is just like conceptual stage, so not a schematic one, so not so appropriate for the site. But at the conceptual stage, I have proposed, like I will be working on it still along the banks and find the topo sheets and exact geographical conditions and of the site and propose it in detailed manner next time, sir. Thank you very much for your encouragement, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Give a big hand to Professor. The next speaker will be Dr. Lubna Sarwat. She will speak on sinking and stinking water bodies of Hyderabad. Can we reverse this day? She was asking the questions. So, the solution will also come from our travels. So, what it indicates? Though resources is there, still we cannot manage properly. We need to manage sustainably in water in Ceylon also. There is a dearth of drinking water. Though there is all the rainwater getting run off to the Bangladesh. So this is the message. Structure. So this is the message that how to receive, after receiving the rainfall, how to manage that, how to hold that water. That is the mantra now.
Yeah, hello to everyone. Namaskar. Assalamu alaikum. I just tried to bring in the very old emblem there because it's a 100-year centenary of OU, and I brought in that, and that's the previous emblem that was used by the Nizam of that time, which is later on changed by the government. And I would like to, at the outset, this is a governmental document of the recent Mission Kakatiya, and we have to particularly observe that Mission Kakatiya, I am bringing you all to this. Kindly see that the point here they tell that the catchment area hydrology of the tank are not available. Okay, and then they say again classification hydrology of the tank will be studied and finalized. So we are in an era where we want to revive our water bodies without studying the catchment area. Okay, this is not a matter that can be ignored, and this is a matter that has to be challenged. Given the fact that the government has taken up the restoration of 46,000 lakes, I hope you all agree with me. And as a case study, when from Seoul we had undertaken 2 Mission Kakatiya, we sought these project reports. We got it from the irrigation engineers of the respective mandals. This is pertaining to Piram Cheru, and this is pertaining to again Neknampur Cheru. So it is not that only one lake this study has been eliminated, but as a standard they have a project report with them for every mission for the restoration of every lake, and in every lake you find the same answer: hydrology, catchment area, rainfall, catchment area, hydrology of the tank not available, classification, hydrology of the tank will be studied and founded. This is the standard format that they have been giving for every lake in spite, and the standard for restoration of every lake was just about desilting, then strengthening the bund, then strengthening the weir, that's all, and that they thought was restoration of the lake. Sadly, this is the irrigational substandards that's been followed by the government of today or yesterday across all the governments across the India. It is like this. Now this is a very interesting, you have 2 smart faces there, and then you also have the Gandipet there. And Gandipet is clearly, if you see here, this is from the official website of Gandipet, and you will see that where my pointer is going here, this is all officially demarcated as the encroached areas by the government themselves. But nothing has been done about that encroachment. They are there till today, and it is further being encroached and further being polluted. Okay, I am just giving some very strong pointers here for us to food for thought, and also I'll end up with some actions that are to be taken. Okay, and these two we shouldn't forget that this Himayat Sagar and Usman Sagar Gandipet, these are 2 designated drinking water reservoirs of Hyderabad. They are not just any other water body that we come across while traveling in the trains and the buses. And these 2, if you see, why this map is very important for us is when we have this Sagar here, we are seeing the Usman Sagar and the Himayat Sagar are here, which are the nearest ones to the city, and they flow by gravity to the city. That's the huge point here. With no extra energy required, is the most economical and most suitable for the present climate change that we have these 2 near the city. और उर्दू में तो ऐसा कहते हैं कि गंडीपेट का पानी पिए तो यहीं मर जाना. That is having a special sweetness for this water body. Gandipet and Usman Sagar, it's having its own sweetness, and each water body has its own taste of water. This has some minerals, they say, and they say that it's extra sweet. So it is all the more important that we do not neglect these 2 water bodies, and instead of going to the Krishna waters, which is coming from here 150 kilometers away from the city, or instead of from the Singur and Manjir and Godavari from 250 kilometers away from the city, it becomes more and more important that we understand what these 2 Usman Sagar and Himayat Sagar mean to the city. So for this, what has to be done actually? Why are we not receiving water in this? And why the government has stopped giving water to the city from this right now? We are not getting any water from these 2 water bodies. We have to understand that. And this is the latest picture from there, wherein the government is actually laying a road inside the Usman Sagar and extending the bund. The government is giving this, when we pointed out this, the government is giving an explanation that we are strengthening the bund. Which irrigational standard is this that we strengthen the bund by encroaching and laying a road inside the lake? So these are the serious points that we as citizens, conscious citizens, I think need to raise. Now I am coming down, after going into the macro point of water supply, water reservoirs, I am coming down to a very particular point here. This is from the famous Banjara Road number 1. Just near the Taj Banjara, you have the stinking and shrinking Banjara Lake. Its original name is Hamid Khan Kunta, which has been transformed into right now Banjara Lake. Okay, no problem. You transform the name, but you are transforming the lake itself. Okay. Now, if you see, this is the 2003 satellite imagery of Hamid Khan Kunta Banjara Lake. Let us just look at the latest picture there. You see the shrink, you also see the stink. I am just tracking you back to 2003, bringing you back to 2016. You see the shrink, you see the stink. So what the government, what the society, what is our role, what are we doing? Are we ready to reverse this trend or are we okay with it? Is the point. Now here I just want to bring to your, before you all, okay, I am doing all this with a purpose which I will just shortly tell you all. The chain link destruction of lakes triggered from the highest catchment draining into the Moosi Nadi. Every point, I was just now speaking to the Hindu reporter, every point on this earth, late engineering chief, Mr. T. Hanumantarao, the pioneer of transforming the, restoring water retaining capacity of the ground. He is a pioneer in that. His work is admired by Rajasthan government, by in China, in USA, but back home, except in Gottigaripalli village, in Hyderabad Mandal. Apart from that, the standing example is that during the scorching summer last year, Gottigaripalli village was the only village that had water in its wells, and adjacent villages were dying for water. This is where Dr. Hanumantarao sir had worked there, and he constructed such lovely mechanisms of retaining the water in the moisture, retention of moisture, and how to capture the rainwater, not through huge dams or something, but through contour trenches, right from the ridge part of it. It is not that you allow the concretization of the entire ridge and then you have something done at the valley end. It is about capturing the rainwater at every height, every contour of the ridge to the valley, and then retaining the moisture in the earth. That is how we actually increase the groundwater aquifers, and we do not see, as numerous of our previous participants have shown, how the groundwater was actually going down. It will go down because, as sir has just pointed out, there is a huge runoff, and the runoff is into the existing stinking lakes. So where is the remedy? Now here I just want to enlighten you all. This is for the Durgam Cheru. The very famous Durgam Cheru, who are from Hyderabad will know this. Durgam Cheru. Durgam Cheru is right now stinking and full of all the stink water from the various colonies adjacent to it. All the high-tech sanitation goes into that. From there, the outflow channel of Durgam Cheru is the inflow channel of Malkam Cheru. My pointer is at Malkam Cheru now. So all this stink, sewage and industrial pollution from Durgam is coming down to Malkam. Now, in outflow channel of Malkam is the inflow channel of Ibrahim Lake, which is coming here. Kindly see where my pointer is now. And this is the channel across. It's coming down from Malkam to Ibrahim Cheru. From Ibrahim Cheru, it will go down to the Moosi Nadi. This is the Moosi Nadi flowing all along the city. This is the sad part now. And here in Hyderabad, we have a lovely system of chain link system. The outflow of one lake becomes the inflow of another. So if you contaminate the topmost lake in the topmost of part of the ridge, the topmost contour, you are automatically polluting the entire chain, and it goes drains into the Moosi. And my dear friends, Moosi is a tributary of Krishna River, and Krishna River water is being given to you all for drinking. This is the dynamics of nature which we have to preserve, respect, give the sanctity to it, and revere it and use it properly, not destroy. And we have a wonderful order from Uttarakhand High Court yesterday. We have really started respecting Uttarakhand court from yesterday because they treated the two rivers Ganga and Jamuna as legal minors. And this has happened nowhere in the world except in New Zealand. where they treated their river as a 140-year-old ancestor and they got legal rights for their river. The same thing happened only first time in India now to Uttarakhand court for Ganga and Jamuna. So my dear friends, let us do this for our moosi nadi. Let us do this for our moosi nadi, because our moosi nadi and all these Hussain Sagar or Durgam or any other Devuri Kutta or any other water body, they are all year-old heritage water bodies. They are more than 200, 300, 400 years old. Let us call them our ancestors and give them their rights. The lakes have a right to survive, have a right to the feeder channels, have a right to have that fresh strong water that is coming, which we are blocking, and in fact we are blocking the fresh water and sending in the sewage. They have a right to survive and we are not allowing them their rights. Now here is another sort of an elite encroachment that is happening. In the Golconda Fort, there is a part called the Naya Kila, which is a nationally protected monument. And inside the Naya Kila Talab, you have a golf teak encroachment over there. How is it sounding to all of us? That the Talab is now out of bounds for the public, and inside the golf has created a team to play for their pleasure by laying ramps inside the lake and by devastating and destructing the lake. So this is how badly we are actually, and garbage is being burnt. This is the latest picture. Garbage is being burnt in the Hussain Sagar, because the inner shores of Hussain Sagar, which are concretized right now, are a part of the lake actually, and you are seeing garbage being burnt there. How much more are we going to tolerate it? This is the latest picture taken. Chemical effluents are flowing in the outflow channel of the Hussain Sagar. And joining just 4 kilometers down, we have the Moosi Nadi. Near Amberpet, it is joining the Moosi Nadi. So I am giving you the latest perspectives, latest snaps and positions of the lake till now. So what? Has Luna Sarwat come here only with complaints and then just vanishing away? Or is she even thinking about some alternatives which she wants to share with everybody so that it spurs us into some action? This is the vital point now. Now we are actually telling them it's talk about technologies like sewage treatment plants. Let us think about some methodologies with actual application of mind. So what are we telling them? When we are actually doing this, when we enter our washroom and have the human waste there, both liquid and solid, so I am speaking in a very medical term because this is all science, okay? When we are actually leaving our human waste, both liquid and solid, in our washrooms and we are flushing them down, we are actually proliferating our waste. Our own waste is going proliferating kilometers and kilometers away from the place which is the source of waste generation. Yes or no? Are we doing this or no? I am asking here. Yeah. So we are telling that is that not open defecation? Today the sewage water is flowing across the city everywhere. All that is open defecation. That is our own muck there. What are we doing for that? So what are we telling? We are undertaking now, we are coming to the third point, we are submitting a study paper to the government. Working on dry composting toilets, we travel to Kanchipuram district where scientifically the whole campus, wherever they are excreting their bodily waste, human waste, so they are actually composting it by using not water but straw dust in its place, by soil in its place. Because human excreta, when it comes in touch with water, it gets contaminated. But when it comes in touch with straw dust or with soil, it becomes composted. So they have brought in this scientific methodology, and their whole waste is not at all visible to everybody. It is actually getting composted and being removed by the hand. This is happening. So we need to look into these terms, that why is my human waste, liquid and solid, traveling kilometers down to a river? This is the paradigmatic shift we should have as a self-consciousness, so that we speak to our own institutions. Suppose the OU things or the IB, the things that no, it's take a resolution that our waste will not go out of our premises. What are the methodologies? Leave alone technologies. Then we have it here. We have the dry composting toilets. Then we have the bio toilets manufactured by the DRDO. The plant is very much in the Charlapalli. The waste is very much there. It is not proliferating anywhere. I was astonished to see that. And we have the two-pit toilets of Gangadevi Palli village. This is the model village for Telangana. They have a two-pit toilet where the manure is being removed by the hand, and there is no proliferation, no smell, and nothing at all. So today all our water bodies are devastated and destructed by our own excreta. Notwithstanding that the industrial waste are coming into that, the construction debris is falling in that, the garbage is falling in that. I am quickly winding up with my just last one. Now we talked about the human waste. Now let us talk about the external waste that we are generating. The municipal garbage, the vegetable waste, the other dry waste that we are generating. So in the solid waste, SAS for SOS means you need to segregate at source to save our souls. Otherwise we are burning garbage in the whole city. What we need to do is, within our own, suppose IPE campus thinks that our canteen, our wet garbage will be composted in IPE premises and will not go to the GHMC. We are reducing the burden on the entire city. And suppose IPE thinks that our solid waste, wet waste will be composted here and our solid waste will be recycled here itself, then we are reducing the entire burden on the GHMC, because GHMC is doing nothing but going and dumping it in the Jawahar Nagar. IP can set this example and tell the GHMC, we are doing this, please tell the whole city to do this. Please tell all the other educational institutions to do this. Yes or no? Yes. So kindly, I am coming here with some solid solutions. And also when the 2 bins were given to every family in the whole of GHMC, nothing worked. Everybody of us, I am also not using it for garbage, I am using it for a very good purpose, because there are very good bins that were given. But rather, what should have been given? If composter bins were given to the human, I would have definitely put all my fruit and vegetable pills in that. I would have become a conscious, responsible citizen, generating my own compost. This is the dynamics that we are looking for from the policy makers and from the government. And of course, institutions like IPC can be a pioneer and set an example and become exemplary. That's all my request. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Undoubtedly, it's a good presentation. So many things I do not know also. I could come to know. Anyway, so my questions, we should prohibit questions. Any next presentation? Next presentation, I should request Dr. Rejani. That's your. Please.
Not giving interest. According to IPCC, some results are there like that some regions runoff, rainfall availability, river flow runoff, all those things are increasing. In some areas it is going to decrease due to climate change. So why we need this runoff, soil loss, all those things? So we should get this good data for our planning watersheds or any other interventions. So I have selected one study area. Malwar region, that region is having groundwater cover exploitation and is having high runoff potential. So we are going to see how runoff potential is varying spatially and temporally over the region. This is study is aircraft using SWAT model. Malwar region is in Madhya Pradesh. And in this SWAT model, they are using SCSCN method for estimating runoff. It is taking into account of the hydrological groups, CMC conditions, all those things. And for sediment calculation, they are using the revised modified Euler soil situation. And we have used the inputs, SRT dump data, then Daniel Sandrow, Markov analysis, soil market indicators, LUP, and the rainfall unit data. We have used the ensemble data, which comprises of more than 20 models data. And this is this topography of that area. This Daniel Sandrow map consisting of different Daniel Sandrow. And the soil map, it is mainly clay soil, some region have loam soil, and this is rainfall availability in this region. And we have estimated the runoff, and we have used this recorded data from Center, Dryland Center Indoor for calibration and validation for this model. And we have estimated the runoff and sediment loss temporally and spatially. Here we can see that during the baseline period we have taken 76 to 2000 period, we lot of variation in runoff and rainfall and corresponding runoff also. Here also sediment loss is also given. You can see that. So how it varies spatially across the. This is part of this Chambal basin, and this we have made it catchment base for planning interventions. So this is the spatial variation of sediment loss in this selected area. We can see that some variation up to 4 tons it is there. So we have done some studies in Warangal region for watersheds. After estimating this runoff spatially, how we can use this for planning interventions. So based on the soil properties, stream orders and rainfall characteristic, we can plan these interventions in situ, ex situ, everything, and based upon for structures we can take this vertical interval for Stokes formula, and we can find out the spacing between the structures and we can plant the structures. But if we plant the structures also, runoff may not be available in semi-arid regions or arid regions where rainfall is very less. In such cases, what we have to do, we have to take this runoff potential availability after existing storage. And using this one, we have again a second stage, we have reduced the number of structures. So these are the structures which like that we can use this methodology for planning structures. And some for one district we have taken up this indoor district, we have taken up this climate change studies also. We can see that this is a lower emission scenario 2.6. This is the medium emission, and this is highest emission scenario RCP 8.5. For 2020 means this period from 2010 to 2013. Baseline period is from 76 to 2005. Based on this baseline period, we are comparing what is going to happen up to 2050s means up to 69, then 2080s means up to 99. So we can see that even in lower emission scenarios itself, there is increase in runoff potential. Rainfall is increasing, temperature is increasing. Since the rainfall intensity is increasing, this runoff potential is increasing over the years in all the emission scenarios. But based on these emissions, this highest emission scenario is heavy, highest runoff potential. Here it is up to almost 10% it is there, 8 it is there, but lower emission it is only up to 4%. So this is how it is spatially varying across this baseline period. This is a medium emission scenario 4.5. So this this we have carried out using SCSN coupled with the GAS, because if we take for larger areas SWOT modeling is good, but it is taking HR for those things, and we will get for it may not be that accurate. When we want to plan interventions, we need so precise, so small areas, districts and all, we are using this methodology, and this is what is happening in medium emission scenario over the years. This is higher emission scenario. That it is possible to model runoff, and then we can see that in this groundwater overexploited region, and it is having high runoff potential. So if we are able to harvest this runoff and use this, we can save groundwater to a great extent. For this, we have taken this spatial and temporal variability of runoff for planning interventions, and this, if we plan interventions, this and if we utilize this harvested water, use it for some supplemental irrigations using sprinkler or drip, then we can use it as a climate resilient adaptation strategy for this indoor area. Thank you.
So, ma'am. Similarly, I was skipping any question because time is very short. Okay, ma'am. Thanks a lot for your nice presentation. Okay. So next presentation for Robi Chigula. And Chigula, he will speak on. Oh, sorry. Please come. He will speak on Indian Ocean reef warming, its impact on Asian monsoon. Mr. Robi, please 7 minutes, because time is again another presentation we have to make. And after that 5:30, there will be another session will start, another conference. So please, if possible.
Today, I would like to present Indian Ocean rim warming and its impact on Asian monsoons. Almost of 90% extra heat due to increasing of greenhouse gases and pollutant observed by the oceans. Among the tropical oceans, the ocean warming is the most prominent in the Indian Ocean. It's take a huge toll in marine ecosystem. The warm during the first century is up to 1.2 degrees Celsius, which is the very large compared to the global surface. Warming is up to 0.8 degrees Celsius during the same period, first century. And the big picture, and find out the rapid warming in the Indian Ocean and its impact. And third one, the study the SST and rainfall system relationships. And fourth one, the warming oceans and weakening monsoons. On the basis of my study methodology and database, the study is purely based on method is inductive deductive methodology and based on secondary data. The secondary data were collected by the research organizations, reports, surveys, and especially in the Indian Institute of Meteorology data. And purely my study is technical map-based analysis, GIS map-based analysis. And Indian Ocean big picture, Indian Ocean warming, the big picture. If you see the general criteria of Indian Ocean like this, but now present like this. Indian Ocean warming in generally during the summers, warmful area is here. Around the 0 degree Celsius in equator area, and as well as western side of Indian Ocean. This is the general phenomena of heating in the summer. But in this past decade, phenomena has been changing. The Western Indian Ocean is warming, and as well as equal to the warmful around 28 degrees Celsius. The effect is the monsoon system will change. Both are equalizing around the equalizing temperature in recent year. Previously in 1990s, the huge gap, and now the both are same equal. That will affect on land and water heating. It may be effect on the ocean water heat warming differentiation. There is no warming differentiation. There is no forming of clouds and clouds formation in the area of Indian Ocean. This is the major factors. And around these phenomena is going on major effect in Indian Ocean and as well as ocean surface of the world also.